Do you pay attention to technology around your energy? Technology can tell you a lot about your energy. Sorry, this camera is a little bit wonky. I was at work today. Dang it, whatever, it's just gonna be off. I was at work today and I was channeling a lot of energy. I was moving through a lot of energy, releasing, letting go. And I was also picking up energy from paperwork. Have you ever experienced that? Can you touch things and pick up the energy from other people, or the energy of like the intention they were putting into the paper, or the object when they were holding it, or maybe they had it when they were sad, or maybe they were nervous when they were writing the paper, or they had it or printed it. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is technology will tell you about your energy and it can help you learn how to navigate it. So I was doing some scanning stack of papers and the printer would like stop the scanning and it would have an error. When I had a lot of energy moving through me, I was anxious, ungrounded, and so I started noticing that it was acting up here and there. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna play a little game. I'm gonna be aware of the technology and I'm gonna see what it's telling me. And so I would get some done and I really was focusing on grounding myself, relaxing, letting the energy flow through me, even though it, was kind of strong and chaotic. And I just had to laugh because it was like jamming when I was most scattered. And so I kept paying attention to where it was stopping and how my energy was when it stopped. And I'd take a break from it, or then I would kind of picked up on the printer was telling me, I want you to go in a different room while I'm doing this, if you want it done. So then I went in another room and it got a big old stack done. I was excited. And then I was like, I'm just gonna plow through the rest of this. And it wasn't gonna work. I tried to do another big stack of papers and it didn't want to do it. And so then I stopped, took a pause, and then I did a couple small stacks and it was okay with that. And then I tried to do another big stack and it was just like, nope. It just basically told me I was done. And I kept trying to do a little bit more and it kept tripping up. And then finally I was just like, okay. I think after it's jammed several times, it's telling me it's had enough. And so I just put the paper away and I did another task. And I just laughed at it and had fun with it and thought it was funny, because normally when technology is not working and I feel like I have a task to get done, I get pissed. You ever experience that? You ever get angry at stupid shit like technology? Man, sometimes I feel like a 5-year-old throwing a fit, I want to get this done. Why aren't you working? I need you to cooperate. It's hilarious. So I just, kept observing how my energy was affecting it and how it wanted me to stop and slow down, because several times I became aware. I was like, oh, it seems to be messing up when I'm most chaotic. Now, technology doesn't always respond like this with me. Like, it's certain energy experiences it does. But not only was my computer at work today acting up, I've also started noticing technology with other situations. Like, I made a big purchase to hire a coach a few days ago. And I'd practiced on my energy, and I just knew it was gonna go through, and it did. Everything went seamlessly through, and I paid for it, and all was good. But then later in the day, I made a purchase, and the purchase doubled up. And that's telling me that there was some discordant energy in there as well, because right before I made the purchase with the coach earlier, there was a moment of doubt, was like, oh my God, is this gonna happen? And then I was like, dude, I'm not getting on board with this doubt. This doubt cannot have a place in my energy field at all. And then seeing that double payment on my card for the other thing just kind of made me laugh, because the technology is like, hey, I'm responding to your energy. Pay attention. Keep that shit clean. So I got to be mindful of my bank account a little bit more with that energy, and now I got to call my bank and let them know that they doubled up on a payment and get that back in my account. Has that ever happened to you? It's funny how the technologies and the energy go together. You know, a lot of people will just, you know, get pissed at it or just think that this or that is happening, but I distinctively see the energy connection to it. Like, I can always link back to when I was processing some chaotic energy, or I was like kind of like off my scales, or specifically I was ungrounded, and that's when the technology is like, wow, I don't know what to do with this shit. Either get away, get grounded, or stop. That's really what it seems to be telling me. And I've had this experience with other people too. Sometimes the technology situations are heightened when I'm with another person, and their energy might be off, or they're moving through stuff, and so am I. Then technology can get really wacky. Have you ever experienced that with other people too? And then, you know, things are all wackety whoopus, and you're like, what is going on here? What is the lesson to learn? That's why when I do pipe ceremony, one of the main things I do when I'm doing pipe ceremony is I pay attention to if and where my pipe might get clogged. Because it's the same situation with technology. Your energy imprint leaves itself in what you're doing, what you're experiencing with your energy. So the technology is reflecting back at you an energy signature within you that is going on. So if my printer is acting up at certain places and what it's doing, you can take a look at what is it doing. Is it jamming? Is it stopped printing? Is it disconnected from online? And then you can take a look at your own energy and see how that correlates. I also was trying to Google something earlier in the day on the same computer, and I kept getting the wheel and it wasn't going. And I was looking to see if I had the internet connection or if the router needed to be rerouted or restarted. Nope, the energy was moving just fine, but the wheel kept spinning. So what that was telling me is, number one, I wasn't going to be listening to or searching whatever I was searching for. It wanted me to just stop and probably ground myself. When you see that the wheel turning, to me, I felt that my energy was turning and wasn't being released. I wasn't grounded. The energy wasn't able to channel into something. And so immediately after that happened, I closed my eyes and imagined that my energy was going into the trunk of a tree. And then that worked out, and I just basically left that alone. I took that as, oh, I'm not supposed to be listening to this or Googling this right now. I'll just let it be. So you ever experienced stuff like this? Also, I was talking with my boss, like with her energy, she says too that sometimes when she gets in her computer and she's trying to look for things, she gets overwhelmed and she doesn't know where she's going, because she doesn't really, the way the computer functions and is set up isn't really intuitive to her, so navigating it is a little bit like a maze. And so her energy will get frustrated if she can't find something, and the computer will like lock up, freeze up, restart, and update, and just go on and on and on and on. And she always tells me when it gets to that, she knows that the computer's telling her she's done. Whatever work she's been doing, she's done. It's time to move on. You ever experienced the computer do that? It's wild. So let me see, where else was I gonna go with that? Oh, just pay attention. Instead of getting mad at it, if you're like me, weirdo gets mad at technology and stuff. Well, I mean, when you got something to get done and you're a person who's in the mood to get stuff done, you want to go and get it done, a curveball like that can throw you off and make you annoyed. Also, since I'm kind of talking about themes of how your energy reflects into things, I was on my way to work today and there was an accident in the road. And normally if I was gonna be late, I'd be upset, but I knew it was okay. My boss is laid back. And so I sat there, I was like, oh, it'll clear up. Well, I ended up sitting there for a half an hour. And there was a lot of people that were turning around, going the other way and going a back road to go around it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit here. I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna wait for it to clear up. Like, it won't take that long. Well, I sat and waited. I had some good thinking time. Some great ideas came up, so I'm grateful for that. But the point is, really, what that experience reflected at me is there was an easier way around, but I didn't take it. So it was telling me that, and it was telling me that I'm a person who will sit and wait when I could be taking action to do something now too. And so that was an insight of how my energy reacts and handles things. So next time when I'm taking action on something that's important to me, it's my business, I'm, doing new things, instead of just sitting there when I'm stuck, look for another way around, try something different. Don't just sit there. It's interesting how our energy imprints with technology and how we go about our daily life with, just simple mundane things can reflect back at us and show us how we are responding to our environment or how we are handling things. Anyways, thank you so much for showing up to receive this message, to sit here and riff with me about how energy reflects out. I hope this is helpful for you. Maybe you've had some insights. Until the next video, love and laughter.